Right, I was at the Crystal Palace game yesterday at Villa Park, and boy oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. How Villa are playing like a mid-table team, how one of our players needs to be sold immediately, and how the atmosphere around Villa has just taken an absolute turn for the worse, rightfully so, I think. So, Positivity Brigade, I'm very, very sorry, but you are going to have to tuck yourselves away under your little fluffy Villa blankets, because we're going to be talking the truth today, because I'm just sick of how Villa are playing at the moment, and I think the feeling around the ground is exactly the same, but also something that we have to talk about. I am about 300 or so, I think, subscribers away from 3,000. You can see it down below. So what I am asking is that you guys like the video, you subscribe for more Aston Villa content. I'm only going to talk the truth on this channel, and comment down below your thoughts post Crystal Palace 2-2 draw in the Premier League, because I would love to know what you guys are thinking, and I love the Aston Villa community. Everyone has a different opinion, everyone's opinion's right, and it's football, and that's what it does. It brings people together through our different opinions, and I love that about it. So be sure to do all of those things and share it around to all of your Villa friends, Villa family, and anyone else that you know that supports Villa or is just a Premier League fan and wants good football content. Without further ado, let's talk about the 2-2 Crystal Palace draw. First things first, I don't think we were very good, and I don't think we have been very good for about, let me check the date, literally about a month now. I think we've actually been pretty poor, and we just play like a mid-table team. Now, the game itself probably started in the worst way possible. We were in possession, we lose it in midfield, which looks incredibly light, by the way, and we're going to get onto that in a little bit. And then literally one pass splits our defence wide open, and we're going to talk about the defence as well, because we were doing some crazy things with how high up the pitch Maatsen was playing this game. And they are 1-0 up. Then we go and we get our equaliser. Again, us winning the ball in midfield for once. A great ball through to John McGinn, puts it through to Ollie Watkins on a plate. It's what he does. The whole of Villa Park was singing, Ollie Watkins, do 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 do. That looked like it was about to get really, 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 really good when we got a penalty, when Leon Bailey was brought down in the 45th minute. For some reason, Yuri Tielemans, who'd scored 2 out of his last 5 penalties, stepped up. His penalty was saved, however it did go out for an Aston Villa corner. And what were the 2 goals we conceded last in the Premier League? Directly from corners. And what happened? We swing the ball into the box, we have no one on the cover defensively. Crystal Palace break from the penalty save and corner and go and make it 2-1 just before half-time. And yes, for anyone wondering, the boos were ringing out around Villa Park, and rightfully so. And I think, or I hope, that all of the boos were being directed towards Austin McPhee. This man is the... Let me get really close to the mic for this one. It might be a little bit loud. Headphone users, beware. This man is the biggest fraud in the Premier League. Someone down below who likes statistics, get the statistic up. Has any other team conceded 3 Premier League goals in a row from their own corners? We have one of the most high-profile set-piece coaches in the Premier League, and we're conceding 3 goals in a row from our corners. I don't care that we managed to get the draw by Ross Barkley scoring from a corner. That was just a great ball by Yuri Tielemans, and Ross Barkley done the finishing touches by flicking it into the far corner. You don't need a set-piece coach to tell Yuri Tielemans, put it on the edge of the 6-yard box, and one of our players will probably head it in. And it cancels it out because we conceded 3 goals in a row from our own corners. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Austin McPhee. If we don't have a set-piece coach that game, we might even win 2-1. Like I say, you don't need a set-piece coach to tell Yuri Tielemans to just whip a ball in from a corner. However, maybe a set-piece coach is saying, oh, you know what, if we put one player there, and then, if you stand there, and then, I tell you what, Leon Bailey, who's been awful this season and is not a defender, and it was historically last season, the only reason we were so good down the right-hand side is because Ezri Konsa done a 2-man job down the right. But I tell you what, Leon, you just sit on the edge of the box, no one else. Maatsen, you float around, son. Bagard, you're quick, you might be able to get back or whatnot. Yeah, we'll be fine. They won't get the ball on the fast break like Liverpool did to us twice in a row. Get that man out of my club. I'm sick of him. So where does it leave us? Maybe I'm just overreacting saying that we're a mid-table team now. That's how we're playing. Let's bring up our results. Now I'm going to get up on the screen here for you. Now, they'll be somewhere. I'm looking at them on my laptop, which is down in front of me. So since the 26th of October, so we are now the 24th of November. Okay, this video is going to be uploaded on the same day I film it. Since the 26th of October, we have had the following available to us. Let's have a look at the Premier League. 3, 6, 9, 12 points available to us in the Premier League. Out of those 12 points, we have taken 2. 2 draws, 2 losses. 10 points dropped in 4 games. 2 of those games, maybe you think Tottenham and Liverpool, perhaps we should maybe be losing those games, or at least getting a point, I'll probably say, out of the Tottenham game. But then Bournemouth and Crystal Palace are our only points, and they were both at Villa Park, by the way. The 2 games that we managed to scrape draws in, Villa Park. So we move on. What else has been available to us? 3 points in the Champions League away at Bruges. How many did we take? A big fat 0. So now that means that we have had 15 points available to us in all competitions, and we have taken 2. Think you're seeing where I'm going with this. Oh, also, we had the chance to progress to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace again at Villa Park again, and again we lost. Mid-table form, maybe even worse. 2 points out of 12 in the Premier League, 0 out of 3 in the Champions League, and knocked out of the Carabao Cup again in the 3rd round. If we actually break down the stats, if we have a little read through the stats in this game against Crystal Palace, you'll see it's 2-2 overall. We had 70% possession, and they still had 13 shots and 1 more shot on target than us. That's the worrying thing for me. Those are the only stats that matter to me. If I bring the camera back up here, I'll talk through those. That's what worries me. They had more shots on target than us, and we had 70% possession. We literally, apart from that Ollie Watkins goal, that is probably the only 5 minutes we've looked like scoring from open play in like 5 games in a row now. It's really worrying. We're not creating anything. And we'll get into that after the player ratings, but I think it probably would be prudent to do the player ratings next. So we jump into the player ratings, starting with the world's number 1, our number 23, and how many goals does he have to concede before we just can't keep on giving him 9 out of 10s every game. Yeah, he made a great fingertip save to push one of the Palace shots onto the post. For that, he gets a 6, but he's still conceding goals left, right and centre. Not really his fault, it's the defence's fault, which we're going to get onto. But again, he conceded 2 goals. I can't give him anything more than that. We move on to the right-back position. We started with Lamar Bagard in the first half, probably a 6 for him. He actually looked all right going forward. Didn't really do much wrong. I don't think he was a little bit out of position for the first goal, but apart from that was generally all right. And then we replace him with Matty Cash, who just 1 out of 10. I genuinely don't know what he adds to a football team at all. And then the big one, Diego Carlos. Our right centre-back, 0 out of 10. I cannot wait for him to be sold. Gives the ball away 500 times a game. He gets rinsed defensively. He's always out of position. I can't be asked him anymore. There was one point where Mateta, I think his name is, who isn't quick, by the way, all he'd done was just a little fake where he went to like touch the ball, but he just let it run. Diego Carlos literally looked like he was stood there. The feint happened. It went past him, and this is going to be a live demonstration. He sort of looked shocked for about a second, and then this is all I saw whilst he was running at actually 0.5 miles an hour, and Mateta was just rinsing him for pace. This is what I saw. You stay right there. This is how he runs. I can't be arsed with him. He's slow. He can't pass. He's not good on the ball. He can't defend in the Premier League level anymore. Oh, 0. Pau Torres, 4. Got out-muscled the whole game, but did do a lovely couple of passes. But is he a centre-back or a centre-mid? Work on your strength and defending, buddy. Maatsen, 5. Digne came on, 5 again. They were playing so far up the pitch. I don't really understand what our tactics were, which we'll get onto in a little bit of a separate segment of the video. But moving into midfield, who started left mid? I think it was actually McGinn started left mid. He keeps on getting hooked, and he's our captain. So that tells you everything you need to know about Emery's confidence in him at the moment. Moving into the centre midfield, Yuri Tielemans, 3. He did get an assist, but he also missed a penalty, and he was just so slow on the ball, sloppy, giving it away. Not his best game whatsoever. Ross Barkley, probably my man of the match, probably an 8. Again, a little bit slow on the ball. I'd like to see him move the ball a bit quicker in-game. But again, overall, probably our best player and did get a goal as well. Moving on to the right-hand side, yes, he won a penalty, but Leon Bailey gets a 2 From me, I understand the positivity brigade will be like, come on, we need to build him up. We can't kick him whilst he's down. He, honestly, the grunts from the Villa fans whenever he lost the ball, which he done a lot that game, it's getting bad, and I think we need to save him before it just gets worse. Up front, Morgan Rogers, 2, his worst game in a Villa shirt for me, and just after signing a new contract. What is that all about? Fleeced us for 75 grand a week, and now he's playing terribly. What's that? God knows. He's a top salesman, maybe. And then Ollie Watkins, probably a 7 out of 10. Made some good runs, didn't really get the ball, but when he did, he made it count, and he got his goal. Well done. Player ratings, bosh. No one particularly played very well. What went wrong, and where did Villa go from here? I honestly don't know what is happening. Emery seems to be just coming out so calmly after the games, but again, we've already gone through the amount of points we've dropped in the last sort of month, calendar month that is, 28, 30 days, whatever you want to call it. It's really, really bad. We don't look like scoring from open play ever. Our defence, I genuinely think we have a bottom 5 defence in the league at the moment. We are terrible at the back. We're so open. We dominate games, and yet we come out of the game thinking, bloody hell, we're lucky to get a point out of that one, boys. Or we dominate a game and we think, well, we really should have got a win, but, only losing 1 or 2 is fine. It's really, really bizarre, and I don't know what's happening. We've got so many players off of it right now. Diego Carlos needs to go. Leon Bailey, I think, would benefit from time out of the team because it's just going to get worse and the fans are going to keep on getting on his back and it's just not getting better and he's giving the ball away effectively every time he has it. Yuri Tielemans was a little bit off of it. Is he still nursing the injury? Obviously, we do have a bit of an injury crisis in midfield, the one position that everyone thought we are stacked in. John McGinn, way off of it. Jacob Ramsey, way off of it. John Duran, I want to mention John Duran. It was brilliant when he got his new contract. And his antics of being all like nonchalant, walking out last for every warm-up with his pants, literally with his whole derriere showing, snood up, not really sprinting around. The petulant attitude's brilliant when you're scoring goals. You need to earn that contract and that number 9 shirt now because he has been awful the last couple of games and he looks like he cannot be arsed. When he's not on the ball, he's not even moving. Sort it out, because that attitude mixed with those performances means that he will be gone in summer if he carries on, because that is unacceptable. And that's the main thing that I have taken from these games. There's no passion in our play. We're too slow. Our build-up is awful and boring. I don't know what our tactics are going forward. And there's just no passion. Not a single player, maybe bar Ollie Watkins and John McGinn, plays with any type of passion for Villa anymore. They look bored. It's pathetic. And we're in the gutter. Let me know what you think down below, but I'm so defeated.